Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Friday, July the 3rd. Happy 4th, almost. I haven't been on for a while, so I thought I'd pop in and just like I usually do. And it's hot as hell here in Pennsylvania. I'm sure it's just about everywhere in the country. It's supposed to get up to 103 to back in the day when I was born, 103 would be like the end of the world. Now it's like, 103, let's say yesterday was 111, hold on. Yeah, 103, 103, and that's not counting the humidity. Oh, that's awful. I used to love summertime. When you're a kid, you're out of school, you got vacation, you can do whatever you want. Go swimming, ride bikes, play baseball, whatever you want to do. Sleep late, stay up late. Summertime was a great time. Barbecues, picnics, fireworks, all kinds of shit. Nowadays, it's more of a pain in the ass because it's just too freaking hot. I guess that's what happens when you get old, like me. I'm 133 years old. I don't know. But then, January comes and I bitch about that too. Bitch. It's like, it's too cold in January. The wind was blowing. Oh, God, I wish it was summertime again. Well, here we are. So, it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. Mother Nature rules. Uh, so anyway, try to stay cool and stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. What I've been doing with water. Watermelon's good. It gives you that extra uh, fluids, the extra hydration. Plus, I saw Jay Leno. Remember Jay Leno, the comic? He's still on. He was on the Tonight Show after Johnny Carson retired. And there's nobody like Johnny Carson. I'm sorry. Nobody like Johnny Carson. But anyway, that's another story. Uh, Jay Leno. It was getting a little porky there, a little hefty. So he went on a diet. It's a watermelon diet. And he lost like something like 60 pounds. And he said, all I did was, he ate his balanced diet during the day, and he ate a lot of watermelon. Like almost a whole melon a day. This guy ate. And I'm sure he had the fragrance. Well, a lot of gas, excellent. It helped him lose weight. This guy, you fill up your stomach, you're not filling up with junk. You got a lot of water going. Slosh it around. Yeah. Anyway, and I saw like it's good. I've been doing that lately. Um, what's going on, huh? Huh? Well, before we talk sports, the big wedding is occurring today. Yes. Taylor Swift is going to be off the market, so to speak. I guess you could say Travis Kelce is too, but really, who cares about? Well, he's just there. Right? Taylor Swift off the market today. I think 5:30 will be launched at Madison Square Garden in New York. Um, big to do, big to do. I mean, it's a holy thing, Like, I wasn't, why? I don't remember. But anyway, like 4 o'clock is supposed to be these cocktails or something. Hello, Coco. 5:30. The wedding ceremony, the wedding. The reception is going from like 6:30 until 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And then the ceremony doesn't end officially until 4 a.m. That's when the welcome wraps up. So, you gotta have this. You gotta have this in order to rent out Madison Square Garden. I don't know. I always picture Taylor Swift wearing a nice top to a white steeple, and springtime around, and the church bells are ringing, and flowers are blooming, and the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and never was about that. You never thought that Madison Square Garden whatever, Nick's gonna be playing, and one's not, and one's just gonna have it. Anyway, so good luck to them, Pat and Cook. That, and we're all starting that. Look, Taylor Swift was playing concert at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and Travis Kelce, who was a theme, I would say, threw her the bracelet, so I was filming in the wrong, and then I let him tell things he got. So we knew, right? We knew that it would start. But anyway, God bless him. I think it's been cool that along with the big wedding plans, a lot of people are saying, it's just a bluff. Yeah, the Madison Square Garden going to be my specimen. But throw the media bluff, and there's a paparazzi up there. This is the pictures of the scene getting shot in a wedding, everybody's talking about what kind of dresses you're going to be. Dear Wad, Dina De Loretta's, Johnny Chu, look what I'm wearing. 47. Look what I'm wearing. Nobody asked what I'm wearing. Jesus. Anyway, LLB. Do you think Travis Kelce will wear LLB today? I don't think so. Anyway. Isn't it something, he just signed a contract to be with the Chiefs worth like a lot of money, like millions and millions of dollars. And that's peanuts compared to what it says. You know who goes to pay for that for it. Sure. Anyway, God bless them. I hope they have a long, happy marriage with children. And the cool thing about them is they just donated $2,600 to different charities in the country. She is very generous, calm, and she's been known to do that, to donate to charities, visit sick kids. She must have a heart of gold. She must be a really nice person. Of course she is. She grew up from around this area, in Reading, PA, which is only 45 minutes, right? So she's one of us. And so she's a nice person. All right, so Phillies. That. I gotta do the first okay. Even though they played shit yesterday, they look like zombies out there on the field. They don't want to be there. Why did he even have games? 101 degrees, and we playing freaking baseball in the afternoon. Why? They announced a crowd of 37,000 people. That was the biggest. People were smart. They didn't go. They were sold their tickets, but they just didn't go because the stands were pretty empty, which you could expect. It was going to go out there, meeting with stage and roast, and then die. What about these people die since so I actually had tickets yesterday, and I sold them a couple of weeks ago, even before it was heat codes, which was a smart thing to do. God bless the person who bought me tickets. I hope they went to the game and getting fun. But it's not one thing. It's a game. It's a game. That practice, it's a game. Okay. So I watched it on TV, and I'm watching on TV, and I'm sitting right here. It was brutal. Gotta give the Phillies credit. They climbed back. They're already 2.5 games in the state of the league. And they were 11 games back at one point. Phillies have made a charge. And so I think the Phillies are going to overtake that. The Phillies definitely have some bullets. They need at least 2 more relief pitchers because their middle relief sucks. They need at least 1 more starter. 2 would be nice because Aaron Nola sucks. You could count on him giving up 2 home runs in the talent. And the fifth starter, they allow the fifth starter, isn't that shitty? They got the farm system and it was dry. There's nothing there to bring up. And Andrew Payne stinks. They thinking back on 2020, they should have traded him because here's the thing. They could fix the alarm, Tommy John surgery, that we never seen. Look at Spencer Strider, who's from Atlanta. He's a show. So to me, even though everybody's had a Tommy John surgery because these guys throw so deep hard, make sure you have that surgery. It's really, really important. And that's what we're seeing then in the that so a leader, and because the Red Sox stink, maybe they're gonna trade Ranger Suarez, who they just signed. How about trading Ranger Suarez back to us? We never wanted to go anywhere. The Phillies made a big mistake in keeping him. Trade Ranger back to us and we'll be independent. That way, if the Red Sox can be rehabilitate Andrew Payne, they've got a 23-year-old kid with a great future. If they can't, we'll do that in sense. We get Ranger back. We're gonna need a first starter. We get into a 5-game playoff series. You need best out of 5. You need first starters. You get away with 3 starters in a 7-game series. Can't get away with only 3 starters in a 5-game series. So I would take Ranger back. I would take Ranger. Andrew Payne, he could give up on it just doesn't look the same. It's a shit. Everyone is a shit. But you gotta go for it now. Other these people on the vote to win the prospect. What prospects? What? You gotta go for it now because the core of this team, Harper, that having been shorter, 30 more runs. All these guys are getting Zach Wheeler probably wasn't he's pitching good. Sanchez, I mean, you gotta go for it, man. Excuse me. Push all the chips into season game. See, I don't get it because I'm too busy. So you're seeing the seasons and then that would have fixed this. That would have fixed. Anyway, I would push all my chips in. Going for it this year. Gotta go for it. The National League isn't overwhelming. The Dodgers are still really, really good. Obviously, 2-time World Series champions. And they're running away with the West, which is not unexpected. They're beatable. Every time one of the rip snatched there and let them off the hook. Milwaukee is a good team. We saw what they did against the Phillies. This Lizardowski kid struck in 10 games today. Jesus. But the National League is there for the take. What I'm saying is, Phillies have more pitching with their experience. Maybe these guys are better picking the pump and finally get up to the series, right? So you got to go for it this year. You've got to do it. You can't think about 5 years from. Go for it. The old saying, whoever is in first place in baseball at the 4th of July, not the All-Star Bowl, the 4th of July, generally goes on in the 10th. Now it's different because you got the 3 divisions in each league. Back in my school, were there divisions, there was just straight National League and American, like 10 or 12 teams in each league. And whoever was in first place on the 4th of July usually would go on to win the pay. And there's some statistic I have, you could Google that bears truth in them. That teams who were in first place in 5th of July generally do go on the pay. So those are only 2.5 out in the East. That said, at close, I can need reinforcements. Two more relief pitchers, another starter to and a right-handed bat on the outfield. I mean, a legitimate bat, not all this crap. Like the Phillies are like got out of yards here. They go and get the all the cheap stuff from the cheap table, or stuff like 50%. No, if you want to go for it, go for it. Get a good bat and pitching a shot. Another shot, fellas. How about those Sixers, right? As much as I complained about them, it's the Sixers. Sixers trade for John Brown of the Celtics. No, he's in his prime, maybe 29. Great player. No matter what you think of the series, it's sort of like dancing with the devil. You know, like the Eagles, as if the Eagles would trade the Cowboys. God forbid. Sixers, well, they had a Paxson, this Boston. The hell is Boston doing? They just, first of all, Boston wanted VJ Edgecombe, which I would not tell him. He's going to be a great player. And Paul George. I don't care about he's toast. Paul George is toast. He getting it with that big contract. He stinks. And draft picks. Well, this new Sixer GM, the guy running the show, I don't even know what his name is, but he pulled fast one of these things. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. Hell, and he got him down to from Jalen Brown, all NBA, former MVP in playoffs. Great player in his prime. He just gave up Paul George, who again is a shell of himself, and draft picks. These draft picks won't kick in until the next decade. That's how far. Again, go for it. Joel Embiid, not going to be around for Maxey, and his prime, right? Gotta go for it. So now we got Jalen forward, we've got Joel Embiid at center, we've got the Maxey and Major Edgecombe as the guards, and the Sixers just signed Simmons kid, who used to play for Boston, used to play for the Trailblazers, great shooter for 6'man. We come off the bench and buy down to open drives and killing the G. Was a nice man. Okay, he's okay, but he's nothing special. I wouldn't usually sleep over Kelly Oubre Jr. sign the idiot transfer. Stinks. Anyway, Sixers all of a sudden are rocking and rolling. There's a rumor that they might go out from LeBron James because they do need a power forward. That's the one thing that the Sixers, a power forward, especially a good rebound power forward, who's going to take the load off of Jim and it's kind of clean up the boards, you know. So I don't know how I feel about LeBron James. He's all weak, you know? As long as he doesn't cause any problems in the locker room, okay. He's apparently he only wants to win. He wants to play for a winner before he carries him up. Is he ever going to retire? LeBron James, but he's going to be 68 years old, and he's probably out there in the court. He's like in a wheelchair like me, you know. What the hell? So, but hey, if he helps the team and he doesn't cause any problems in the locker room, okay. So, my point is, my friends, do you see what a real GM, a real general manager can do? The Sixers had all this court in front of them for a long time. Brett Brown, what a dope. Traded away the Cowboys draft him. And then this dope, Daryl Ward, right? Don't. Now you got a winner. And I've always said, you gotta get winning, the winner, the guy who knows basketball, the person who knows basketball, who it comes from winning culture. This guy built the Golden State. And that's what you needed. So this guy's making all kinds of moves, you know? And all of a sudden, the Sixers look pretty good. Then that one guy on ESPN says, oh, Boston, what are they thinking about? They just gave Philadelphia a trip to the NBA Finals. Really? It's possible, because I don't think the Knicks are going to put them. You know what happens when teams win the championship? They become complacent, not as hungry. I don't think, I'd be very, very surprised if the Knicks even got to the finals. Boston will obviously invest in some things good. Cleveland, who knows where they're going. They never seem to stop. The other teams in the East are small, not immediate. Okay, not really, not really great. So why not the Sixers, right? Well, you get some pieces added to the squad, some depth for the bench, get that power forward, and I can see the Sixers making next year. I never thought I'd say them live, but I can see it. So the difference is you get a guy who knows what the hell he's doing. The GM who was qualified and has experience and is a winner at what it does. So gives us something to look for to move forward. Speaking of which, got Eagles game. Eagles going through some quiet now. Got traded on Jim Brown, got his ass out of. How about that? We trade a Brown and I get a Brown back. Both to Boston. We traded AJ Brown to the Patriots, and we get Jalen back from Boston. So I think the Eagles are about to be right. As time goes on, we're going to talk about who I think is going to win up the divisions, who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, tackling the Eagles, as the summer rolls on, we get closer to training team. This is only a couple months ago. And we'll talk more NFL football soon. But I think he was more busy. They have a good home schedule. And I think they were leaving after last season's fiasco. AJ Brown was gone. I can't blame him anymore. So I think they will. Guess what? I will be there 2 years to support the Rams. Got lucky and got tickets first to Eagles Rams game. So that's the big game because the Rams have a better team, which they announced Gary team. The Rams should win these 14 games to take the Rams. The Rams, but on the papers, I think have a great chance to the Super Bowl. I think it's a great game because it's going to determine home field advantage. They'll think of themselves. You got the Eagles playing the Rams in the playoffs next year. Right? Would you rather see the Rams come here in Philadelphia, cold, snowy, windy Philadelphia? The other Rams can handle that. They can't handle the snow. They can't handle the cold weather from the December. Or would you rather go to LA to that controlled dome? Yeah, I'd rather get them here. Yeah. So that's why that game is very important, because if head to head, they determine something. So the game in early October could be a big game. And the other game is no kind of activities for is the other game. It's the Eagles Giants, the big blue. Now this is the real one. Yeah, we hate the Cowboys. They suck, but Well, it's geographically, it's more of a rivalry with the Giants. And that goes back further. Because don't forget, 1960, yeah, it was the Giants who kicked their ass, Frank Gifford, blah. Um, it's more of a rivalry with the Eagles Giants than it is Eagles Cowboys. So, and Giants, like, they okay team, just Jackson Dart. And there's no love those between the football. And you know what's going to happen. Those people will come down and try to invade our stadium and try to take over. And they always try, especially with the team. So that would be an exciting game to attend. Oh, so there's all kinds of stuff going on, right? And along with the 4th of July, uh, we've got this World Cup. And we're watching the World Cup. I have. I never thought I'd say that. I watched the World Cup. And I actually have enjoyed it because of understanding the game a little bit better. I'm still a little foggy on what is an offside and what's not. Yeah, because they don't have really like lines on the field that football has. And you can say see if somebody's offside or not. So you kind of have to rely on the referee. And they have all this technology to see if this guy's foot better than honors or arm, whatever. So, but otherwise, I'm kind of enjoying it. There's kind of a science. And I used to think nothing games in soccer. They call it football. As football means NFL football. Come on. But I'm watching the World Cup is Saturday. And I'm still sort of understanding the game, even like a 1-0, we call it a nil, not nil. It's sort of tension. You gotta work the ball down the field there. You have those headers and those quarters and get the ball in front of the goal. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm actually kind of enjoying it. And then you got the different countries going. Of course, you got the natural rivalries. Now, over the weekend, Spain is going to play Portugal. They don't make each other right. Well, that's going to be US is from from Belgium. I haven't we're at Belgium. I haven't seen words that from too. But when I think of Belgium, I think Belgium and French. That's put a little waffles there, a little bit of like syrup on, a little bit of elbow. And spend a little whipped cream on top, some strawberries, maybe some Belgium. I think the Belgians also famous chocolates too. Naturally, it goes to food. Yes. It's going to be a good game. The only thing is, the U.S. is going to miss their top scorer. They call him strange. Because he got a leg up. So he was ejected out of the nest and he cannot play in the summer. So that kind of sucks. And I think the new game plus, I mean, for her home trip, here's the thing. It is the matter what kind of team. It's very, very difficult one to eliminate a home team. Because you've got the crowd on your side, you've got the home field advantage, you've got the travel so far, and it's going to be tough to knock the USA on Monday. I think the USA can do it. I will. I tell you, that's tough. If you've been following the World Cup, well, first of all, before the tournament started, Viva la France. Jerry knows, Viva la France. I don't know. So I'm learning about these teams and see next time too. But before them, toilet stone. So far, we look pretty good. I'm strong. But there's been some upsets. Germany's out. Netherlands are in. And I tell you what, England, I think England's going to get benefits. They have to play Mexico in Mexico City. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, you've got the crowd's going to be against England. The thing that's going to kill it, though, is the elevation. When you think of Mexico City, you don't think of it being very high. I never do. I mean, you think of Denver, Colorado, Rocky Mountain. I can't remember. It's pretty high up there, but Mexico City is quite fun. And you've got New England team, and I'm used to that. They've been staying and practicing in Kansas University, which is about as flat as low as you can get. And now they're stepping up, and they're going to play Mexico City against Mexico. And I see Mexico as one of them. If I was betting, just, I don't know, in pesos, Mexico. England has impressed. They just about got through skin of the teeth. Some of these games. So I would say if those chance for an upset, Mexico is going to do. Hey, before I leave the topic of soccer, how about that John Denver? Wow, that is coming back again. Now it's still there. But what upset is his music was coming back because the U.S. team has adopted his song, Take Me Home from Trains. West Virginia, that the long take me country. And I just feel see it. And adopted one was the entire theme song. And play it after a match, especially the win. The crowd gets to sing it with them. It is a great song because way back in 1972. So, and I was reading a little bit about King and John Denver co-wrote it with two friends, and it was a great song. I got to hand to now. Here's the thing: you watch, Dad. Listen to me. Listen to Dad. The music. Remember, John Denver. He's going to be spanking his music. You know what happens? Somebody dies in Jackson. All of a sudden, everybody's buying it, right? They got to have a chart to do. So, John Denver, you watch. Why? Especially if the USA somehow wins the World Cup. I hope it happens. John Denver's music is going to skyrocket. If there's any way you could buy stock at John Denver music, because that's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to want this song Take Me to the Country Roads. And of course, the younger people who don't remember John Denver, they're going to want to listen to the song. So along with a single, they're going to get his albums, greatest hits. And to me, I say that's cool. Because John Denver, to me, was ahead of his time. You know, not only musically was he brilliant, one of the best songs ever. A great singer, very distinctive voice. And it was ahead of the times. You know, I had a friend about that. After John Denver died, but one of the Anderson. I emailed my friend who happened to be. And I said, you know, what do you think John Denver did? I figured he would know in the business. Anything. And the first thing he said, I thought he was going to come back down and say, wow, you want to all this song, all this good stuff. And I was, the answer was saying, what a tremendous guitar player. And I didn't realize that. I'm like, I guess he's right. You know? I mean, John never did do all the riffs like Eddie did with Adams and Prince. They're electric guitar. But it was great. It was just great. And so, as far as the environment, John never said how I was think about this. In the 70s, people were just unconscious of the and clean water, clean air. And there needed to be more regulations about it. And John Doe was sort of voice models of themselves to planet, save the planet. What do you do? It was such a vision. He wanted to build space. They actually did go through the Rasset program. Very interesting to become an astronaut, but for some reason, he never did. He was one of the ladies in the 80s to go up on one of the space missions. It just but I watched the video on YouTube to and I see but this guy, he wouldn't fit in to that, he would have been an activist with the environment, animal welfare, and they're so in tune to what's going on. To, as well as being about this. So if John Denver gets a boost in record sales, because it was taking in country roads there with the soccer team, great. More people who can listen to his music and find out about John the bands. That's what I think. Hey, I got a list before we get it, but keep it on this list. I thought this was kind of good. I need glasses so I can read this. This is a list of movies. Have a bunch of movies this year. We haven't quite as much to. Toy Stories and Disclosure Beverly. Uncle. Yeah, there's something about movies that kind of see. Now, with the better ones, a movie attention. But these are movies that had ultimate tapes that they were working. And they were either writing the movie or producing the movie, and then they changed the tone. For instance, did you know Back to the Future 2 was originally titled Characters? Characters. First of all, I don't think people would understand the word characters means. Most of them. So it's kind of a good thing that they changed it. To simplify it to Back to the Future 2, The Breakfast Club. Remember The Breakfast Club? With the black cat, where they had the dance and detention and then the study hall with this learning teacher. And I remember, well, the original name of The Breakfast Club was The Lunch Brunch. It's I'm glad they changed it. It's because it sort of sounds like a Brady Bunch, Here's the story. The lonely river, keep them on true. And there was an alternative table before they came up with The Breakfast Club. Library Revolution. Now, to me, that sounds kind of harsh. That sounds like some sort of movie coming out of the Middle East. Library Revolution. Saturday Night Fever. Great movie with the one movie John Travolta. Was originally titled The Tribal Rights and New Saturday Night. That's a mouthful. First of all, it's a mouthful to remember to say. You go up to the window, you say, I want a ticket to the Tribal Rights and New Saturday Night, and you forget the words. Right? Actually, that movie script was based on a short story that appeared in New York Magazine back in the early mid-70s. And the title of that story was Travel Routes in New Sunday Night. But it was much better that the producers decided to change the title to Salvador Viva. John Wick, John Wick, Keanu Reeves, whatever how his name is, was originally named Scorn, SCORN, Scorn. I kind of like the John Wick thing. Later on, we got science fiction movie with Harrison Ford. It was a good movie. It was originally called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep? Do they? First of all, it's a stupid movie title. Do Androids Dream? Blame that was much done. As you see, those are the alternative titles. So that's why they changed their minds. Heck, something like it, an older movie with Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis. Something Like It Hot was originally titled Not Tonight, Joseph. No, not tonight, Joseph. Who knows why? There's only a couple of them. Arrival. Remember the story of Arrival? Amy Adams. Well, she was this linguist. We had alien invasion. This came out in like 2015. And she was called on to try to decipher alien language so we can make contact or communicate with the aliens. It's a good movie. Originally, the title of that movie was The Story That I'm playing it shit up too. It says it with Joe March thing. The story is new. Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman, Richard Gere, Julie, but was originally titled 3000. And it wasn't spelled out. It was the 300. Why? Because something about Julie Roberts, she kind of book. And for some reason, the 3000 had to do what that was there fees or services? I don't Beetlejuice. Remember Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice 2 just came out. Well, that year too, Michael Keaton. The original Beetlejuice, the title was House Ghost. House Ghost. Well, kind of like House Guest. Very scary. Although House Guest can be kind of scary too, especially when they're overnight. Returning to Jedi. Whoever Returning to Jedi, one of the best Star Wars sequels, was originally called Blue Harvest. That Blue Harvest, it's like that old song. I'm getting mixed up with you. The alien. Another alien, that's Sigourney Weaver. Scared the shit out of me. When the alien popped out of his stomach and started raining chaos all over the space capsule. Alien was originally titled Star Beast. Star Beast. Well, yeah, I have a couple of dreams. Star Beast. Couple of ones. 2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah, movie. What was it? 68, 69? Kind of eerie movie about making contact, the first contact with extraterrestrial. Well, the original title of that movie was How the Solar System Was Won. The Western. Clint Eastwood. Casablanca. Everybody's favorite. Humphrey Bogart. Laura DeCon. Oh, God, Casablanca was originally called Everybody Comes to Lips. Now, of course, You can buy, but people got to brick, the building, the bar, the Casablanca, the City Parade, Pulp Fiction. Again, Trouble at Town, Samuel Jackson, originally called Black Mask. Black Mask. I think I got one more. Yeah, as you can tell, this is some. One of these, but instead of sick, that's why. Goodfellas, great movie. Joe Pesci was originally called Monster. He don't do that as far. You know, but there was. And finally, Stand by the great movie, directed by Ronnie Rody, Bad Mr. Son, Ron Ryan. Stand by Me was originally called and because if you remember the story about these kids, several times, they could find dead, storming, 19, dead body. No, dead body. So, mine, love them. Not love. Just so I said, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. A lot of our favorite movies, people coming back because their day was different. We've had different titles, but how things change. It makes you. I know. I just wanted to problems and happy 4th of July. Everybody stays safe and sound. Watch the fireworks. Okay, you go down. I don't like fun about the dogs. The dogs have knowledge too. No, don't it's so still. It's going to be rough for him. Get it? It's rough. And well, got the arrow, which so steady. Oh, maybe I'm sort of dreaming up for something. But the here, so it's the most it's above it. This weekend is so Chad used them throw it and hopefully each other. And the dogs will treat a lot of partners because you either got the fireworks going on, they got the thunderstorms, which could keep people inside the lot with the fireworks. But then again, they have to deal with the thunder. That gets you the thunder, the fun. So take care of your thoroughfare. Take care of yourself. Okay. What are you doing? And we can take that people and go in that. A lot of people travel and have traveled. I bet you there's tons of people in this shit. It's a Twitter. We call it the shore. We call it the beach. Beach. Shore. Shore. And it's kind of hot. With the weather like it is, 4th of July weekend, July. Well, we're going to keep the beaches open. Still, journalists. I watch it now. It's we're going to eat a bit of both. And scares the shit out of me. That movie came out, what, 15 years ago? Don't ever try to make dreams. You can't do it. Steven Spielberg was just, it was perfectly, don't ever try to make it. Some smell movie. Down the road. Listen, let's be 100% in each other. It's been just me. We can have a more realistic shark than we can run about. No, you don't do it. Listen to daddy. You're going to lose about money if you do. Because there's only one Jaws. You can't improve upon perfection. That's why a lot of sequels don't work. Because you have a great movie and Hollywood tries to mess it up with sequels and it just doesn't leave well enough of it. Like, I don't know, whatever. If you're having a hot day, that would feel good. The ribs. or state of way I didn't have more than that, but me, had to go to the states and peace and God in place. And I'll see you when I see you. It's time, right? God bless America. Thank you for what you do. Thanks for watching. See you next time.